Okay, so let's bring up.
Here he comes.
Oh, there he is.
Cody.
Give Cody a hand.
Come on up.
And I fixed your problem. Don't worry. I took care of you, brother.
All right, thanks.
I've already told him he'll
Wait,
do.
wait, hold on. I got to see what number you are. Handheld 2. I think he needs to go up.
I said he will do
Thank you,
much
brother.
better than I did when I was presenting my first case study.
We'll see.
No. I was like, I couldn't even hold the microphone. So it was so funny.
So what do you do for a day-to-day job?
Now.
Hold it up high so I can hear you.
I manage 2 apartment complexes.
Now you do.
Now you do.
What'd you do before Lifestyles?
Before, I was a full-time pastor here in DFW.
What kind of milk did you pasteurize? No.
Just the, vitamin D, yeah. Yeah, so I was a pastor for about 10 years, full-time for 5. And I never thought I would be
Got to hold up higher.
in real estate. I never thought I would be up here, but here we are.
And you were doing some stocks and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was pretty heavily invested in the stock market. My father, he did day trading on the side, and he was pretty invested in it. And our returns were actually pretty consistent and pretty good. But as he was nearing retirement, he began to phase out of the riskier or speculative stocks, which were bringing pretty good profit margins. He wanted us to go towards something stable, something that would be like REITs, real estate investment trusts. And so, however, as I was going to the church that I was a pastor at, there were a handful of leads that went there, as well as passives that were giving me good reason to invest in real estate.
So Lifestyles members were at your church?
They infiltrated your
Yes.
church. I
Wow,
see.
they infiltrated.
We're everywhere.
Yes.
That's cool.
Really wonderful people.
So why did you decide to get married in Poland?
Yeah, so I became a Christian in 2009 when I was in high school. The Lord changed my heart, and I was just like, I rather than pursuing medicine or law, which I was considering, decided to give my life to the Lord and His work. Went to Bible college, and yes. The Lord is good. And yeah, so I signed up for a mission trip. My church sent me to Poland for 2 months.
Okay. That's
and it's there that I met my lovely bride. We were just friends at that
So
point.
see, if you go on a missionary trip, you want to get rid of your kids, send them to some country, they'll come back with a bride.
There you go. That's why when I was a youth pastor, all my youth were like, should I consider missions? I'm like, you want to get married? So.
Did you learn Polish?
Enough to have a conversation, share the gospel, not sound like a complete fool. But
I know one word.
Yeah.
Usta. Do you know what that means?
Usa, is that belly? Stomach?
Lips or nose or something? No?
Oh, yeah.
I learned it from Veggie Tales. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
See, the people who knows Veggie Tales know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Never mind, don't worry about it.
And my wife's parents will be watching from Poland. So,
Oh, okay.
Cześć,
Oh,
kocham
wow,
cię.
that's cool. How cool's that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Delightful.
Awesome. All right.
So,
Is she in the audience?
my wife, yes, my wife, Zofia.
Can you wave to us?
There you go.
Yeah, there she is. Hey.
Thanks for saying yes. We've been married for 9 years.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right.
So,
why did you join?
yeah, so I mean, obviously we talked about the stock market fatigue. That was not fun. But also with considering the future, I wanted a bit more control of my time. I saw the lifestyles of those passives who were the members of the church. They got me to join in 2021, and I enjoyed that. And I don't know if you guys know too much about ministry, but most of the time it doesn't pay very well, and so I had to think about taking control of my future and my retirement, and not just
I
depend
love
on the
that.
salary.
Peer pressure, everyone's doing it. So most kids face drugs or alcohol. Him, it's lifestyles. Kind of different.
But surround yourself by
Good,
awesome
good
people.
peer pressure.
That's good. That's what I'm saying. It's just kind of cool. It's a good, positive thing. Yep.
Yeah, positive peer pressure.
Yeah, so very grateful to everyone there.
So we're going to talk about, you got a 25 unit, okay?
Yeah, so this is the 510 apartments. I took this photo right here the day of closing, September 28th.
Okay.
We decided to stick with the sign. The sign was great, and we had a handful of other things that we did on the property. But it is a 25 unit built in the late 1960s.
Okay.
We purchased it for about $116 a door, and then after, of course, closing costs, that would be around $120, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So
Now, did you do this as a lead or as a IRO.
As a lead.
Okay.
So IRO, the funds, we don't quite have
No,
2
it's
million.
first lead deal.
No.
First lead deal. Okay, so
Yep.
let me just explain what that is. So as a lead deal, he puts in a chunk of money, and all these other people put in a chunk of money with him. Because did you have $900,000 by yourself?
Not really.
Not as a pastor, right? Okay. So does that make sense to everybody? So you don't have to have 900,000. So remember I said people could put 25, 50, 100,000? So I want to ask them a couple questions because 900 grand is a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
What was your lowest investor? Do you remember?
$20,000.
So somebody put in 20,000. Everybody follow me? What was your biggest investor? Do you remember?
125.
125. So somewhere in that range, okay? Now, how many investors were in this deal?
19.
19. Did they all live here in Dallas?
Nope. We actually have someone watching online right now from California.
So even
Hi, Peter.
Californians can invest with a Christian investor. I'm just having fun, guys. But my point is, people from all over the place can do this.
But normally if you're investing from California, you're trying to get out of California. So.
Right, but I'm just saying, you have people from all over the place. You don't have to live there. Now, I have a question. You have these 19 different investors. How many of them visited your property of the 19?
0.
Zero.
Maybe
Who likes
one.
that?
Maybe one.
The point is it's passive income. You put money in, you make money, you don't get involved. Who likes that idea?
Oh yeah, there were a few that were there during due diligence.
Oh, okay. So during when I'll teach you due diligence is when we make sure everything's good on the property, when we look at it. So
We
there
were
was
doing
some-
inspections.
Yeah.
There were several that were
Okay.
there walking.
But afterwards, they're like,
But I think they've been there since.
okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
As long as they got their checks, right? Okay, cool.
Yes, sir. Don was there, and we had a few in the audience that were there as well. Any of my investors for the 510 here? Any? Got
So raise your hands up high.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you in the way back? You should be up front. It's your deal.
Hey Tosh.
You own all the toilet seats.
Backsliders.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
So rehab was about 300 grand, right?
Yep. 264. We actually later on realized we needed a bit more than that. We can talk about that. But
Sure.
financing, excellent. We decided to go the bank route. So that was a recourse route. So non-government backed loan, and a 5.25%. The leverage was pretty extraordinary, 78%.
Okay.
And can't really find that right now. But yeah, so only 900,000
Okay.
out of pocket.
So the big number for if you're new, because that all looks like gobbledygook until you come to my seminar. I break down all the numbers for y'all. I get it, the new people. You're like, I don't understand all this. The thing that you should understand, it's a simple number right here. I'm going to make 11.8% return. Who'd be okay with that? And if done correctly, the way I teach it, which I know he does, it's all tax-free income. Who'd be okay with that in today's economy? Not bad, right?
Yeah, this property has been definitely a learning experience, going from ministry to real estate and diving deep in. Kind of made me miss all the the sessions of people sharing about their struggles, and then now we're just talking about finance and evictions and clogged toilets.
Kind of the same thing, really.
It really is, yeah. Need God's grace. So, but yeah, so we increase income quite a bit. You'll see comparison a little bit later,
Okay.
but expenses 134. That's before our below the line expenses like mortgage.
You see how I can tell he's a very conservative numbers guy? You know how I can tell? He has it to the dollar. He doesn't round anything. You notice that? Who likes that? The nerds. There you go. Yeah, you're numbers people. I get it.
Well,
We made him take the decimal out.
Yeah, I know. It was 0.33. They get real upset at us.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's
So-
some pictures.
Yeah, there's a handful of things. There's going to be some pretty non-sexy rehab things you'll see before we get to the units. But
That's a really naughty word, sexy for a minister.
yeah, so we love the sign. We kept it, but we decided to make things a little bit more appealing to justify our rent increases and make the community just a very pleasant place. And so, had the signage look a little bit better, redid the parking lot, a few other things.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can just go ding, and I'll go to the next slide if you want me to.
4 days after takeover, we realized a major issue with the property that our CapEx, or not our CapEx, actually our due diligence team did not catch for the inspection, and something we weren't anticipating for the
Hold up higher.
CapEx. But thankfully, we had a sizable contingency fund to address this. We had a major belly and perforation in the cast iron pipe on the north side of the property, right over here.
And a belly is just a low spot in the cast iron pipe.
And so basically, this resident in the corner had to deal with about ½ an inch of sewage water a few times a week before a plumber would have to come out and clear the line. So why he was there so long, very patient man. But we went in and we replaced 45 feet of pipe within the first 2 weeks of owning the property.
So instead of the old owner who was doing whatever, coming out there cleaning that pipe every week, is that the right thing to do for your resident? No. No, you put it in, you fix it up, make it beautiful, alleviate problem.
Yeah, this guy was very patient. And he stayed. He stayed for about a year up until a few months ago. So. We also replaced the roof right away. The roof was having major issues. You can see on the Google Maps that it's like this brownish thing that has water collection up there.
And you put a TPO roof on?
Yep.
Isn't that sexy, guys? Come on.
Very, very attractive.
I thought
one of my favorite things. No one can see
I
it.
love TPO roofs.
Don't worry, you don't need to know that stuff.
He convinced me to go that route, so thanks, Don.
That's a good mentor, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, so fun things there. Another unexpected thing, we had a 13-year-old chiller that was Carrier, and during the inspection, everyone's like, oh, it's working great, but these things work until they don't. Yeah. So we just went ahead and we replaced that, as well as the hot water heater, which was like 40 years old
who likes
at that point.
That he's being very truthful and honest about all the headaches he had? Who likes that? Because it's about integrity here. We want to open our books. We want to have real numbers with you guys. Who likes that?
Well, and what he did by replacing these mechanicals is he alleviated future maintenance calls and problems. Mm-hmm. Do it up front.
Yep.
Get it on the back.
There you go.
So we opted for,
cool.
the Samsung chiller. We wanted to go Apple, but they don't make chillers. So Samsung, they make
And if you don't know what a chiller is, normally we have individual AC units. A chiller does everything. So it's just, if that goes out,
you got one unit running the air conditioning and heating for the whole property.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important that he took care of this up front, because, if one person, their AC goes out, that's different than if everybody's goes out. So.
Yeah. So.
And then you learn the difference between a 2-pipe and a 4-pipe chiller, and how many hours between the two when you go from hot to cold. Am I right?
I know too much. I wish I knew less. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so the things that look a little bit better. Here are some of the bathroom conditions from before. I would say that's not my most preferable living circumstance, but
doesn't that look beautiful?
Yeah. So just went through, just knocked that out, and
does this look a lot better, everybody? Yeah, it's like night and day.
I like that. Yeah. So the bathrooms.
Everybody likes clean toilets.
No. Kitchens as well, looking pretty great. Knocked out some of the a lot of the cabinets were actually in really good condition, so we would put a new facade on it, like the doors. Go through, put granite countertops in, new appliances, and these rent very fast.
You see, so this was horrible before, and they make it beautiful, and you attract good people that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes we'll do granite countertops, not just because they're pretty and they look good, but because with laminate countertops, a lot of times they have to be resurfaced every time somebody moves out. So he took the initiative to put the countertops in there up front, so he doesn't, every time somebody moves out, he's not having to deal with an issue of countertops being
now
all
think about it. If you have a Formica countertop, it becomes a cutting board, and that's what happens. It's real.
Yeah.
All right. So I know a lot of this will be weird for people that are new, but this is the numbers. That's what you put in your pocket each year on an annualized basis. Project your returns that way.
So year one, 378. These numbers are, pretty exciting. Operating expenses, we were able to keep them roughly the same as the seller, maybe just a little bit more expensive. But our NOI, we increased it almost $100,000 in 1 year, which was 98,000. So I'm kind of disappointed we didn't reach the 100. But so mortgage, as you can see right here, it's 138. This is the IO period, interest only period for 2 years. It then jumps up to 194 as we're paying about $60,000 down for principal. But at that point, we've recouped a lot of our income to almost level it out for the cash on cash.
Now, there's something powerful up here that I love seeing as a mentor, and Don loves seeing, is yes, he's increasing his income every year, but you're probably saying, well, why is his expenses going up? Because if you take care of people, you do have to make those expenses go up as well. You understand?
Well, if you take care of the property.
That's what I'm saying. And
yeah.
What do slumlords do? They don't fix anything. They bleed the property dry.
Well, does anybody own a house in here? Anybody? Your taxes go up? Does your insurance go up? That's usually what increases that number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, pretty standard.
Here's the exciting one. This is what it comes down to.
I'm fond of this slide. First year, 149 was the NOI, and we bought it at a 5.25% cap rate, and then after closing costs, all in was 3.08 million. Our out-of-pocket was 900,000, and assuming a 6% cap rate, we are looking at year 3, dividing the net operating income by that projected 6% cap rate. We're looking at a return of 1.3 million.
I'll explain in simple English. Don't worry about what cap rates are. I'll teach you all that this weekend. I know that's Greek to you all. Here's the easy way to understand it. If you take $100,000, you put in this deal, you got back your $100,000, and then you got another $145,000 after that. Who'd be okay with that? Think about that. You understand? Your 100 grand basically turned to 245,000. You guys don't sound excited. Give him some hand for that. It's awesome. See, his investors in the back row might come up a few now. But tell me that's not powerful, guys. Take any amount of money you have right now in your IRA, 401k, TSP, if you're new, and add 145% to it in a couple of years. Would that not be life-changing? Yes. Now do this over and over and over again. You see how you can retire quickly. Man, that's beautiful. Love the story.
Praise the Lord.
There you go. Awesome. All right, let's see what's next.
So how we pushed NOI, we were pretty aggressive. When we were telling the investors about the deal, we had done our due diligence, we told them what we were planning to do, and we gave them the business plan on how we're going to increase the value of the asset. On our pro forma, basically how much we're going to increase rent, we told investors that we would be averaging 8% a year increase of rent for, say, 3 years. But once we took over the property, knowing the numbers myself and trying to keep a low bar so that I could pass it easily, we went in, and a third of the property at that point was month to month. We checked all the applicants were qualified, and we did a little test, and we pushed the rents 22% in the first month, and 100% accepted, which is kind of a surprise. But
wait a minute. You increased the rents, and you had no move-outs.
Surprisingly, which means that maybe I didn't push it enough.
Well, no, I think you did well.
That's a good pastor.
Oh, this is a hard point, but
too far? Good. But wait, there's more.
You're convicting me there, Dave.
No, you're blessing these people. You're giving them a beautiful place to live. You're taking care of these families.
Yeah.
There's a lot you're doing.
They got new air conditioners, new heaters.
Yeah, they have an air conditioner now that actually works. They don't have poop going in the middle of their living room every day.
I had one tenant chew
resident.
me out. Resident.
Words matter, sir.
Yes, I had a resident chew me out about how his rent was going up 15% or something like that. I can't quite remember. But this was another resident who also had constant plumbing issues very near to that other unit, where he wouldn't have it every other day, but it'd be once a week or so.
Right.
And I told him, like, look, if you want a place where you have to, step and poop with a low cost, you can go move out. But we're increasing rent so you don't ever have to deal with that again. And from then on out, he said no words.
He stayed.
And he stayed. So.
Wow, great.
When you see actions and you take care of people, a lot of this is customer service related, this whole industry. Most people don't realize this. This is a statistic in the industry. And houses, rentals, they stay there a long time, 3, 4, 5 years. In the apartment industry, there is turnover typically in the apartment industry 50% every year, meaning half your residents move out. By you taking care of people, they will stay. what's the most wonderful thing in life with marriage? It's cheaper to keep her. So if you take care of people, they will stay. Remember that one, okay?
I always say the number one amenity is not swimming pool, it's not a gym, it's not covered parking. It's maintenance.
It is.
Somebody there when you really need them.
Ladies, you don't want a husband, you want a maintenance man. He can fix everything.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, so just a lot of things we did. Yeah, push rent. We offered upgrades to tenants while they were living there so that we wouldn't have to turn the unit. And so we would advertise what we're doing at the property to the tenants and say, hey, look at this bathroom we've done. And the tenants would say, I want that. And so we say, hey, you can find a bathroom to use for 2 days somewhere else. We'll come in, flip the bathroom, and then increase your rent $100. And they would do that. And so
Because they wanted that beautiful, nice thing. And people deserve nice things, yeah.
And we'd have no turnover costs from that. So.
Wow.
And also, we've had 100% occupancy for about 7 months now. With
Wow.
virtually no turnover.
Do you know who's going to be angry at you right now? Terry Gibler. Do you know why Terry Gibler is angry at you when she hears 100% occupancy?
Why is that? I'm not increasing the rents enough? Well, yeah.
You always have to push it.
The 22% was not enough. 145, that's too low.
Who's with me?
But then on the other hand,
I know.
we will say that turnover is cash flow killer.
Exactly, so
it's a balance
there is a
between
balancing
it's
game.
a balance between those two things.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
doing a
so
good job
You're,
at balancing.
you're awesome. I mean, think about this. He took this property, and people want to stay there. Even though he increased the rents, they're happy because he wouldn't stay 100% full otherwise. Does that make sense? Give him a hand for that because it's exactly what we teach. It's awesome. So let's talk about your goals. What's your goals?
Yeah, so I guess in the immediate term, I would love to look for property number 3. Our second property is also property nearby in DeSoto, so it's less than a mile away. We use the same maintenance guy and everything. But for the third one, if we find a distressed asset that is suffering as a result of maybe having a variable loan that their interest rate has now gone up significantly, maybe we might want to put that on our books. So yeah, property number 3, we're interested. Also making a decision between will I continue what I'm doing right now, basically both asset management and personal day-to-day being the property manager, or will I move on from property management, having suffered my my stripes so far, and just do asset management. So I'll definitely rely on the mentorship and a handful of other successful leads to determine which route would be
Let me
best
break
for
that
us.
down real quick for the new people. What we teach here at Lifestyles is you need to fire yourself from every job as quick as you can. In other words, as he goes up in size of properties, there's less and less responsibilities. So once you get to 200 units, 400 units, whatever, then you can become just an asset manager. Right now, when he has smaller ones, he is doing those duties. Make sense? So it's a natural progression where he's going to grow. It's called the economies of scale, and I'll teach that on Sunday.
Yeah, let me just say this.
Sure.
It brings up a memory. I know that when I was going through the 2-day back 2006, whenever it was, 7.
Yeah, we made the abacus.
Yeah. Dell told a story that really stuck with me. And it was about this small town pastor who came into Lifestyles. He joined, and he was able to go out and buy, I don't remember how many, but it was like 3 or 4 houses. Mm-hmm. And that was enough to support him full time so he could do and what he could go out and do what he wanted to do, what he loved, what he felt called to do. And that really resonated with me that, it's not about more and more and more. It's about finding that level. Mm-hmm. It's not the money, it's the lifestyle. It's finding that place where, where's your happy spot? Yeah. Where can you, how much does it take to achieve what you really want to achieve in life and the things that really matter?
Yeah, it always comes down to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Help and serve others, right?
Yep.
That's what he's doing one way and the other way. So it's great. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
perfect.
Yeah, a few other things. Start a family. We've been married for 9 years and maybe might want some kids soon.
Okay.
And then also I start my doctorate in theology this December. It's not related to real estate. It's just for fun. So
Cool.
I like to.
Where
like
you
to
do that?
Dallas Theological Seminary.
Yeah, great place.
Yeah. So-
Maybe you buy a place over there. That's really hot market.
But that's Dallas City, so their judges are crazy. I don't know.
Hey, you're going to soon be smarter than David Rizika. He has like an MBA and all kind of a master's in divinity, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and an
That was-
MBA and a BBA.
So he was a
We'll
pastor.
see.
He was a pastor for like 22 years. You know that?
Oh no, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's okay. But he
Praise the
lost
Lord.
his way, just so you know. There's a difference. Sorry, I always get in trouble. I don't know why. I just have-
Because you say things like that.
I
That's why
didn't
you
say
get in trouble.
anything. Everybody loses their way when they walk down the street. He's
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
still
confused. He's like Mitch
I'm still a
McConnell.
pastor. I'm still a pastor, just
Oh,
not
you
full
are?
time.
That's right, you married.
Just not
Okay.
full time.
Yes. Amen, brother. Yeah.
Sorry.
And which kind of segues into my long-term goal is to go back into full-time
Yeah,
ministry.
it's awesome.
This has been a lot of fun. I've loved the networking and the community. It's been invaluable. But like I really enjoy doing this. But is it my like one purpose and passion? That is ministry. There's nothing like it. And I look forward to that one day. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying the friendship and the networking and doing ministry on the side part-time and maybe segue
Cool.
later on to pursue it again full-time.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. This one here says, how has Lifestyles changed your life since joining?
Yeah, so I have much more control of my time, and I'm much closer to reaching my financial goals for doing full-time ministry, if you can read. And that's from The Office, the show.
Which
So
is from Pennsylvania, just so you know.
Yes.
Dunder
yes.
Mifflin. I'm just supporting.
Dunder Mifflin. Yeah. So I know the Bible quotes the most, and then underneath it, very low, is The Office. So number 2. Yeah.
There you go.
God's grace. So.
There you go. All
Yeah.
right. So you have some people that you want to thank?
Oh yeah, every single one of these vendors up here.
Okay.
In fact, there's so many more we could list, but yeah, these people have helped me greatly with the headaches of learning life and management and getting through the syndication process and
You get through the scary parts.
all the scary parts. Yeah, they make things smooth.
And like I say, don't do it by yourself. You know, you have a whole team. He formed a team. He helped do it
Yeah.
that way. So it's great. All right. Let's see. Do you want to answer some questions?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do the room first. There's one way back there. I'm going to get a microphone. You're making me have exercise, sir. You should come up here.
Just an easy answer while you're walking the mic.
Okay, go
When
ahead.
did you purchase your first property?
September of last year.
2022.
Yes.
Here
2022.
you go, Jeremy.
I was wondering, you said this was your first deal. When you were doing this first deal, were you still a pastor during this deal, or was it afterwards?
Yeah, I quit the church and I pursued this full time. I had a few leads that were encouraging me that if I'm going to do this, full time would be the most effective path. And so, yeah, I started doing this full time. I think April. I did the lead certification in 4 days. I just hammered.
A little bit
it
of a go-getter.
12 hours a day and just yeah. And so I was very insistent on getting this done right. And so, yeah, I pursued that and then got the property under contract, I think 3 months later after looking through a handful. And yeah, the rest is history.
He had the persistence of Job.
Job, hopefully not as much suffering as Job, but
Anybody else? There's one over there. Hold on. Let me run all the way back here.
Bunch of them.
Oh my gosh, they're like, what, I have to go there first, not him? Who? Nicole. Nicole has a question.
hey, Nicole.
Did you resurface bathtubs or replace them?
Resurface, yeah. I don't think we've had any tubs damaged to the point of needing to go full replacement, but we had a great
Oh,
tub
Keith, you have a question
resurfacer.
too. Why
that,
are you sitting a couple?
Came in and did it all. Yeah.
So I have a question about the renovations. Did you renovate every unit, all 16, or did you just renovate a certain number of them, or how did you do that?
No, yeah. Since we've only had the property for a year and 2 weeks now, we haven't had enough turnover to do some of these units. However, we've approached it from the standpoint of if the unit is occupied and it's non-renovated, we're just going to go ahead and charge them the renovated price. If they qualify, then they're going to want to pursue something else, but many of the times they would just stay. And so, unfortunately, we haven't had the opportunity to renovate all of them yet, but we are definitely on our way. So, yeah. Still got the funds, I guess. Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Awesome. Anybody else in the room? David Rizika?
No, I don't have any more.
No,
Online.
You have to wait.
No online.
No online? No online.
Well, he did say that he was renovating some of them while the residents were in the units, and it's like a spot renovation, like focusing on the bathroom or kitchen, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, we tried to do that approach with flooring, but that didn't work because residents
it's
don't want to
too-
move one room and then.
Yeah, it's
so,
too tough.
Yeah, but those main things, the kitchen and the bathroom, very easy to sell
Yep.
because they're in that a lot and they're moving with their hands.
And you know the thing I noticed about the property when I was out there, small apartment communities, they are a community, and the residents talk to each other, and they don't want to move when they see somebody coming in taking care of them and putting their needs before his pocket.
Now I know you've done 2 deals now, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anybody in the room that's in either of his deals, raise your hands. Oh, look, the guy lost all his money in AT&T. You're in that deal. I remember. Not that I remember all your stuff. And you're in that deal. That's awesome. Good for you, brother. Sorry, I get excited. I love seeing students again. It's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
actually, almost half of our new applicants, whether or not they qualify is another question, but nearly half of them come from resident referrals, which is kind of
So
surprising.
think about that. The residents like, we're proud of this place. We're willing to bring our friends in. That's cool. So that's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Kind of crazy. So.
All right. Well, let's give these
Thanks,
guys
everyone.
a hand. Appreciate it.